It's it's a good one. All right. I've waited forever for these, but first, prologue. The first plushie Dan wanted me to design was the neck ruff. So this didn't end up getting made. This was like, what year is it? This was like early 2023. It was the first one he commissioned me to make. So I didn't quite have the hang of it yet. And the samples, they weren't great. There was some confusion regarding things like the colors of the flames. We didn't know whether we wanted to go with like furry fabric. Yes, you're on TV. So that was kind of a wash. And what really helped was getting a publisher, because what was going on at this point was Dan would have to be up till like 3 a.m. on the phone with someone in China to, resolve any issues. Not an ideal situation. But with our publisher at AdMagic, we have someone we have the resources to better communicate with the factories. So less of this. So this was the initial concept sketches for the plushies. I'm just reading chat as I go. Yeah, so Dan asked me to try and do a Sitting Cuties style. So Sitting Cuties is like the series of plushies that Pokemon does, but kind of put our own flair on it. So it's very much my own style, and I really like that comes through on the plushies too. Yeah. All right. Now I'm excited. Okay. Here we go. So this was the first, and my model sheets are formatted like this now, going forward with like the measurements, and we have to do the Pantones. So for anyone who doesn't know, for printing and manufacturing all across the world, there is a standard system called Pantone, where every color has a number associated to it. Actually, let me, if I can show you what I use here. Yeah. So I'll basically draw in the computer and then try to get the matching Pantones. And they have, like, every tone, like, full list of Pantones. It's like thousands of colors, right? It's like what you look at when you're picking paint for your walls. It's all of these. And what's kind of tricky is when you're looking at the photos of the samples, like, on a screen, it doesn't necessarily reflect what the fabric's actually going to look like in real life. You can get this sample book that actually has physical pieces of fabric of every color. It's $3,000 for these books, and that's not in the budget yet. But I am pushing for it. Hydrate. It's like 3 huge binders of little squares of fabric. Anyway, okay. Oh, I've already started. Let's start with number 1. Yeah. Oh, he's so squishy. Aw. Look at him. We were originally going to do, you can kind of see it on the sheet here, like, his actual legs there, but, that's just kind of an extra piece of fabric you wouldn't have even seen, and I think this looks cuter. Oh, they did such a good job. One of the samples they sent, I think, this sample, they didn't have the band going all around his belly, so when Dan got the physical samples of these, we did a video call, and he just looked at it all over. He's so, like, round. He's very spherical. You know what, though? His eyes are upside down on all of them. They had it right on the samples, but they're actually upside down. Don't tell anybody. All through sampling, it was correct. Yeah, the eye shine is supposed to be on top, like you'll see it on, like, all the other ones. Yeah, it doesn't look incorrect, though, at least. Like, it's not like it's the wrong color or anything. So it's fine. Oh, he's so cute. And they got the symbols on the legs, right? That's something we've, yeah, Limtops. Stitched on there. And you'll see he's got the, earth symbol stitched under there. If you were to cut that off, it should be the full shape. Yeah, it is. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think I did a good job. I really do, and I love that I get to do this. Like, this is amazing. So round. Like, my husband says, like, my style, my art style, like, really comes through on them in, like, the eyes and everything. Yeah, he's not, like, yeah. Like, he's not it's not a one-to-one of like the card art or anything. Like he doesn't look exactly like, you know, that thing, but he's a cutified version, and like all the main details are there. Like, so I was saying, like, something that we've actually had a hard time getting consistent on some of the card art and has to be fixed like every time is like the symbols on his legs are different. I was worried they might get these legs mixed up because at the factory, like, every part is made differently and then they manually put it together. I thought these might end up getting reversed. Well, trying to stay in camera. But they didn't. His back spikes should be kind of pointing more up, but that's not a big deal. It's kind of a funny shape. And yeah, they almost missed this, but I caught them at that. But somehow, eyes upside down, and that's really funny. Oh, he's so good. And the tag, it was Johnny who did the art for the tags. I know, what was it? Somebody's, like, Leviathan had a Zaptor tag or something. Oh, I'm gonna show too. So, like, here's my workspace, and they're all gonna go up on the top, like 4 on each side of the binder. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay, so. Vipyro. So glad we managed to get him right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. Oh. Oh. He's supposed to have 7 stripes on his belly. They only did 5. That's okay. I mean, it's not like you see it anyway, but he... I really shouldn't. I'm probably saying too much by saying, you know, tune in tomorrow, so I'm not gonna risk saying any more than that. The fire looks good. So you see I noted that there should be 7 stripes. I didn't do that. That's okay. The rattle. His face is pretty flat. But with all the fighting we had to do, because let's take a look. So, and you'll see here too, while they're sampling, they don't necessarily use, like, the final colors. They're doing something kind of funky here with the head. I didn't even notice that before. And see, they send the samples, and I have to go in and say, okay, you have to correct this, this, and this, and some of the details that they're not going to sample necessarily every round, like the face, they just print it off the design sheet. Oh, something else here too. Up here, this little piece of clay I have on my desk. For sometimes shapes are kind of odd to communicate with words and hard to communicate in drawing. Cat's eating the plastic. So I had this little piece of clay that I just sculpted into that shape and took pictures at different angles to show them. But yeah, old mustache. I don't know what went wrong, because he was supposed to have, the idea was for like his top jaw to come over his bottom jaw. Actually I have a picture of it elsewhere, but like kind of like on this Cubone, how it like goes over, like an overbite. That was what I was going for. For some reason they interpreted that as loose piece of fabric that is a mustache on the snake. I don't know what kind of snakes they have in China, but ours don't have mustaches. And they went for a more stitched look, which was a little better. But you'll see here, like, he had a really visible stitch right in the middle of his face. He was a struggle, and I realized finally at one point they were giving him extra teeth. Like, here, like, one pointy tooth, one little pointed mouth, one tooth. They started giving him, like, so many teeth at one point. So I made the note for that here. I don't know how well you can see that, but oh, I can zoom. So I made the note for that here. It's like you take out his wisdom teeth, and that big visible stitch in the middle. When you're adapting the design to a plushie, you have to compromise to some degree, because just not everything's going to be possible, right? You have to find the balance there. So to some degree, you have to have some grace for things like this, but we found this stitch in the middle, pardonnez-moi, was just too visible. And what I'll do is I'll actually go and look at other plushies to find kind of reference material. So I thought, what's a Pokemon that has... Because I don't know what the factory is, but they do plushies for Pokemon as well. So I thought, what's a Pokemon that has like a symbol on its forehead? And Umbreon. And you see, they did the same V-stitch there. And that's why his face came out a little flat. We probably could have kept pushing it to give him a little more of a snout. But, I mean, at some point you have to just, you know, accept that you're not going to get it 100% because it's not... It's physical limitations, right, of the medium. And,
I don't know. I'll take all of the mismade Vipyros you have. I'll take them all. Just ship them to me. It's fine. I'll take them.
Dan has them. I would also like one, but yeah, Dan has them.
I'm just saying, this is if it's not the final product, it's the prototype product isn't what anybody likes or wants. I'll take them. I don't care.
No, I agree.
Destroy them. I'll take it. I don't care.
I agree, especially for these because they're kind of my. Oh, I forgot to check the tag.
It also goes in the hands of somebody who's going to take good care of it and love it and everything. So.
Well, what actually happens is he receives something like 5 samples that he's got to send to different states because different states have different product compliances that they have to test for.
Right.
And then he gets one for his own collection, one for his daughter, and then like one extra or something. So I don't know what's become of all of them. I don't know if after the factories look at, or rather the compliance, whatever looks at them, whether they destroy them or send them back. I'm not sure.
That is certainly something worth looking into, I suppose.
Yeah. Because prototype toys, prototype plushies, like there's a market for that. People love that stuff. What's my favorite scrapped plushie?
I wouldn't sell it or nothing. I would.
No,
yeah.
You want it just
sit right here. I just want to have it. So.
Favorite scrapped plushie. I didn't ask Dan if this would be okay to show, but since it is scrapped, I think it'll be all right. Don't look at my other screen. We were not able to do... Nebulio.
That looks complicated.
Yeah, he was too complicated to be made in a cost-effective way. Like, the margin, the profit margin on these is abysmal. We just make them because we like them. Like, he was just going to be too expensive to make. Yeah. So, unfortunately, no. I think that would have been a really good one, though. Now, I don't remember Leviathan giving us too much trouble. I mean, he's pretty straightforward. He's a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. His fin is very fat. But you know what? He's still beautiful.
He's still a cute little water...
Little water boys. I love the proportions. Well, this is Celestial Spirit Limtops.
Yeah, it's a spirit. It's not an animal. What are you talking about?
He's basically a star. I think tomorrow's reveal is very, very good. I think he came out really good. I'm excited for him.
Was he revealing plushies tomorrow?
Shh. Yes, we are. Don't tell anybody. But
I won't tell anybody, but I will talk about it on our recording tonight for the Divine Council.
No, sell me out. Nah, it's all right.
No, it's going to be a recording. It's not going to come out until after it's already been revealed. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know how this works. Yours came out months after we recorded yours.
That's true. So one funny thing about Leviathan is we really want to make sure like the spirit symbol is like oriented properly on everything, but Leviathan's is actually reversed, and that's on purpose, just so it, you know, lines up the same way on each side. I don't remember him giving us too much trouble. His face was a little flat at one point, but they were able to make it work. And like Vipyro, it's kind of a matter of you got to compromise to some degree.
I think it turned out okay.
Oh yeah, I like him. I like him quite a bit. Actually, I have the other ones here, don't I? Let me see. This one's probably more art accurate, I would say, but I think this one's cuddlier.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Make sure I didn't throw that into the cat fountain. Yeah, he didn't give us too much trouble. Kickstarter plushies. I don't know who designed them. I don't know what that whole situation was.
Well, it wasn't you, so...
It wasn't me.
I can't blame you.
Yeah, it's not my fault this time. Not this time. Yeah, that's got the right tag. And you'll see on here, part of the style is all of their eyes. We want them all to be like the, outlined in black, and then, what do you call that part? The iris outlined in black. They used a thick embroidery on him, though. That's alright, but... I don't think you were here for this part, but look, Teratlus's eyes are upside down. All of them are like that. Oops, they were correct all through sampling. But yeah, they got they got this guy down pretty good pretty quickly, so he wasn't too much trouble. I have the Kickstarter version of him too. Oh, you want a Zaptor plushie? Oh, we have Zaptor at home.
Toss him. Gone.
Oh my god, his head's so big. Oh, he's round.
Oh, round face he does.
Oh, he's so round. Look at this.
Well, there's something to be said, though, that they're not exactly accurate either, because, you know, I mean, like you said, it's the limitations of the product and all that.
Part of it's the limitations, part of it is, like, what makes a better toy? What's cuddlier?
Yeah.
God, his head is round.
Well, they look cute and cuddly, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. I think they just... Yeah, and we requested the, what do you call that? It's a kind of felt for his little spikies and his tail. I think I had... Yeah, I had asked for a glossy fabric for his lightning tail, but they didn't, but that's fine. I mean, not much to say about him either. He didn't give us too much trouble. His arms were very long at one point. Now they're tiny. Who was it? Someone posted a video on YouTube about how a good selling point for these plushies is that they can hold your cards.
Some of them get it. Oh, look, see, look at there you go.
Yeah. Who was it who made that video? I don't even remember. We were talking about it in Snapchat. So, for the recording, River's saying, promise not to be negative. Zaptor's the only funkish one, only because of the head. Was the card design unintentional? I mean, yeah, we can't really collaborate with the factory on little things like that as far as I'm aware, so that's just a fun little coincidence. Oh, they didn't give him his side stripes properly. I guess we're gonna have to fire them. Whoa! Why did they do that? Oh, this one actually is a little funky. See, that should just be fabric, not a hard thing. Well, stuff to look out for going forward, I guess. I think he still looks good. His head is huge. He's so wide. I really like the shape they had in this sample, where it's not quite as round. He's alright, though. He will do.
That will do. That will do, Zaptor. That will do.
Licorice.
Licorice. It's licorice.
So, for how complex the body shape is, they did alright. Like, because there's a lot going on with this one. I wanted them to do a gradient, like, from the kind of more bluish tone to the white, like in the card art. They weren't able to. Just some things, you know, not able to be done.
It still looks pretty good.
For how much he has going on, yeah, I agree. Got the symbol. The symbols all came out. Like, I love that we went with the embroidered eyes and everything. It all looks very good. Like, these feel premium. And aside from, like, little design quirks that, like, I'm going to be the only person who notices them, they came out well.
The artist always notices their flaws.
Yes, it's true. It's because I'm the one staring at it for 5 hours. But as you can see from the note, we were really impressed, like, right out of the gate. Lycris is available. Jack, all the plushies are available now. All of the all of the Spirit plushies and the Frostfall plushies. They done been available.
Limtops, you know that's because you're super hypercritical about art stuff because you're kind of an artist yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's
but
fine.
An artist, which is not a problem. But artists always notice flaws in their work, especially as they go through, and they're like, "I need to fix that," and it's like after a certain point in time, you can't fix it anymore because you reached your deadline that you just have to get it out there and be done with it.
It's never going to be perfect, so it's really important to learn to kind of let go of that idea of making something perfect.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you're going to notice so many more things than anyone else ever will. Yeah. So you'll see here they have the tail kind of laying, like, flat at one point. So little things like that is why they send us samples. We correct them. And, like, I think these guys are really good display plushies, because, like, if I look at him and start to scrutinize, like, why is his butt like that? But he looks great, like, from the front.
You just set him down, yeah.
Yeah. The nose. Yeah, we have to keep an eye on what color they outline things with, because, like, they're going to outline in black. The wings, they had them pretty stuffed originally.
I'm going to tone that down because the wings aren't that fat. So.
Yeah. It's got to be aerodynamic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is a spirit that flies on the wind.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a flying dog. Don't you know what a flying dog looks like?
Fat shaped like lips. Why would you, man?
How could you? We're already not fat shaming Leviathans. Okay.
Exactly.
Here's what I mean by this kind of looks hilarious from the side.
It does. The silhouette is just like, what the heck is going on here?
Pretty cute from the front, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had this. Like, the head, just the head on its own, like, this piece, very good. And, like, every individual piece. And it's stuff that, like, were I in China running the sweatshop, I would be, more critical. But you can only do so much with pictures over the internet, and, like, it does look good. I never thought I'd be, making toys, especially not this quality. Like, I've, like, hand-sewn plushies before.
I forgot his spirit symbol was on his tail.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah. The Flurmine is bald, but he works out at the library, so it's all good.
It's not bald, it's snow.
Yeah.
Or a hood. It's a hood.
Yeah. That's what I said, like, try to kind of think of it as a scarf or a hood. And as you can see, they were going to do this at first, but it's supposed to be like a high collar on a snow jacket. Whoa.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And again, during the sampling process, they won't sample every tiny little thing. They were going to give him ears, like with an inside to the ears, but his ears are just little lumps. They had the feet really small. That was just reflecting how I drew them. And, like, sometimes how I draw them, right, it's not 100% what we want.
Right.
All these feet. Like, you don't really know how it's going to look until you see it. Of course.
Yeah.
These little paws. Very cute. The tail is thick. I'm running out of desk space. Hang on.
Well.
Okay, I'm excited for this one. This one, I think, came out the best. Let's see if that holds up.
The new Plushies.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Look at his little nose and his. I love his ears. Oh, he looks so good. And like they did his sleeves kind of like what he has, and they did a gradient, right? You can see it starts dark and goes light. I don't know why they couldn't do that with Lycoris, but like it's on his head, it's on his arms. I think he looks amazing.
It might have been the color.
Could have been, yeah, just maybe not available as an option for some colors. Maybe because it was so light. Mine has kind of a funky nose. That's okay. He's a funky monkey. I am not generally a monkey fan, but I love this guy.
I love monkeys. Monkeys are
monkeys are all right. They're not my favorite, but
yeah.
Like his tail came out really good.
You get beat by Pyro, but
yeah,
he's a close second.
They're pretty cool. It's true, and like you'll see from the notes here too. Like we were impressed right out the gate. Like had to have this toe move down, because, you know, monkeys kind of have that grippy foot. So we wanted the toe moved down to here. We wanted the fingers to be a little more defined. But, like, other than, like, small tweaks, they kind of got him in one. I was super impressed with this, and I'm super impressed with him now, too. This is so cool.
And they attached it to the back of his head.
Yeah. I told them to.
Ah, see, there you go. Now he's got a handle.
Yeah. Could cut that loose. You could probably cut this loose too. I'm almost tempted to cut off that and just put Velcro in its place, but
yeah, that's too much work.
But it's hiding the detail that the element symbol is there, which is design accurate.
I thought it was on the rock.
It's on both. If you look at the it's on the rock.
Oh, because he can throw the rock.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
if you look at the alt art Johnny did for a base set, it's on his back too.
Yeah, he's throwing the rock. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Oh, monkey. Owl. So if you go back to the original sketch, she was going to be pretty skinny, kind of more owl-shaped. But I don't remember if it was Dan or Daniel who said, make her round, and they were right.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that purple is gorgeous.
It's very good. What's funny about this one is originally, like, it was scaled to be as tall as the others, so it looked massive next to them. If you bug Dan, he might have pictures of that. So we said shrink it by like 15% so it scales a little better, and it definitely does.
Nice.
So cute. This is one I was really impressed with too. First of all, for all the little okay, Lycoris, this thing is such a pain behind the scenes because for the longest time, don't look too hard at base set because every single art, the alt art, the Isle of Aeolia, all that art, the stellar, the stripes on like the wings and the tail, nothing's consistent because I wasn't on the team yet to correct people.
Right.
But for some reason, we have never had a problem with Owloon's wings. They've always been just right. And they work where, like, if she's got her wings open and held up, they're oriented properly, and if they're down and folded, they're oriented properly. So it's
nice.
like they're not a perfect mirror of each other, but they work either way. Little toes. They didn't end up doing the detailing on the feet. That's fine, though, because her feet are little. See, I wanted to have lines there. Yeah. Don't worry, Lim. I'm here. For the video, Limtops saying it's hard to draw them when things aren't consistent, but if you're ever not sure, ask me. I'll figure it out. Oh. So the back of her head here, you see I have this note. So originally, I don't remember how I'd drawn it originally, but Daniel's art obviously doesn't show the back of its head. So I kind of was artistically interpreting it. And then I like to run it by the artists as I'm designing the plushies too. And he came in and said, nah, it should look like this. So we changed it. And I said, just give the wings a little tuck here and that'll get the shape right. And it looks so good. And she's got her little beak. She's so cute. They had a hard time with her tail. They had kind of an axe head thing going there at first. They gave her little legs and I said, thicken those thighs. It was the right call. And then they had her tail like up in the middle of her back for a minute. Gave her a pretty long beak, long ears. But, like, again, this is one that didn't give us too much trouble. It was just, like, the little tweaks here and there to get it perfect. And that's all the spirits. There's so many little guys.
Only 8.
I have the, I got the Frostfall. Oh, and this was, like, the final notes on everything. Like, there's several rounds of, feedback, note giving, and I come from customer service. Like, I worked in retail like 13 years before I came to work for Elestrals, so my approach is to be really like, oh, I'm sorry, but do you think you could, and like really accommodating. But Deathly, who's kind of in charge of the merchandising and marketing stuff, he says, no, we're paying them a lot of money, be firm. So I've learned to be firm. Because, yeah, sampling this stuff costs a lot of money. It doesn't cost a new price for every single sample, but it's a process. And like I was saying before, the profit margin on these aren't good, but they're lovely. They're so lovely.
Well, once they have the patterns built in and established and all that stuff, that initial cost goes away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, as we've made more and more... Am I missing some? Oh, never mind. As we've been making them, I've been able to go back and refer to, like, okay, do this the way you did it on this other one. So I have the sheets for these guys lined up, too, because I just thought that'd be interesting. Hang on.
Waddle.
To the floor.
Swaddle.
Snow waddle.
Cats cuddle them.
I requested the detailing on the feet. I'm really happy with how these came out too. That's what I said, just use a flat piece of felt or something, and they picked a really good material, like that doesn't feel like it's going to fray or anything. And the embroidery looks good. I had originally asked for this part to be fur, and I don't know if that was more expensive or maybe just didn't look right, but we never ended up sampling that. And I got to design the tail to a degree. So obviously Giovanni's original art is from the front, so the tail wasn't designed. When Johnny drew the Morolith art, you see one of them from the back, and he just had the tail black. But I said, let's, like, as I was doing the sheet, like, let's make it blue. And then Johnny went back and updated his art to match. So that's my Frostfall contribution. He had a really ducky beak at one point, but they got this shape good right away. Like, he's another one that wasn't too complicated. And surprisingly, Kryling wasn't too complicated either, for how much he's got going on. I love how the head shape came out, very egg-shaped. It's perfect. The only thing I would change is maybe make this crystal bigger, just because it kind of tapers so much it looks a little funny, but otherwise, I made the call, like, let's use a glossy fabric.
Yeah, that silky fabric looks pop.
Yeah, like ice crystals. And they got the teeth right. And like I was saying before, sometimes I'll reference, like, different plushies, like how... I think this was a Nidorino plushie that had a tooth the way we wanted, so I just make the tooth like this. Made guidance for how to do the horns, just because I was worried they were going to be a tough shape, but they pulled it off just fine. Excuse me. And then other little notes, like his legs were super long at first. But they got him, like, just right pretty quickly. A later sample did kind of smush his face a little, but I said please go back because that was much better. And that's it for now. That's all the plushies. It's the coolest thing I've ever gotten to do. They're on the floor now.
With the cats.
Yes, with the cats. Luna!
We don't care.
Wow. Rude. Friendship ended with Kickstarter plushies. They're on the floor too. But yeah, they are going to be going up there. I'll take a picture of my desk space. Thank you, River. I'm really proud of them, and I'm glad you guys like them, and I hope you guys continue to like them, and I'm going to do my best. And I love that I get to do this. This is like a dream come true. It makes me really happy, too, just to see, like Dan lets his kids play with them and everything, right? And like that just really warms my heart too, that like kids are enjoying them. That makes me happy.
Shameless plug time. If you want to listen to more about Bex and her journey, you can also tune in to the Divine Council or Nectar of the Pods.
That's true.
Episode featuring Bex.
Yeah. When I when I post this to YouTube, I'll link to both of those. So not much more to put in a video. I just wanted to get my first impressions of these. So thank you guys for attending. I'm going to stop recording now, and thank you for enjoying the plushies.